Welcome into Rebecca K Crochet. I'm Becky, your yarn host, and today we're going to use a pound of love. We are going to create a granny square that is got a flower in the middle. So I'm going to create a blanket out of most of these granny squares. So I'm going to use 4 different colors of pound of love. You can use whatever 4-weight yarn you want. This is from Lion Brand. This color is cornflower. And it's made in Turkey. You can wash it. Don't iron it. You can dry it. It's 100% acrylic, premium acrylic. It's a 4-weight. It says it requires a J10 6mm hook, which is what I'm going to be using. There is 16 ounces and 1,024 yards, or 932 meters in each one of these. And I have a mess on my desk, but I have this cornflower, and then I have bluebell. Then I have, I think this one's just white. Yeah, just white here. And then I have a pink, which is called pastel pink, is what this one's called. Let me get my mess cleaned up because I was fine in the middle of all of these, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're going to start with the pink, and we are going to do a slip stitch or a slip knot on my hook, and I'm using a J. Don't know why my camera's not wanting to focus. A J 6mm hook. Focus. There we go. Well, sorta. There we go. Susan Bates, of course. And we are going to chain 4. Go back into our first stitch that we created and do a slip stitch, keeping our finger down here so that we know where our hole is. We're going to tighten that up a little bit. Right there. We're going to chain 2, and we are going to go back into that hole, and we will work around our tail or over our tail, and we're going to do 15 more double crochets. This counts as a stitch, so for a total of 16 double crochets. And I'll be back whenever I get that done. And a double crochet is wrap your yarn around, poke it through, bring up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. You pull it through 2, and then you pull it through 2. And we're going to do that for a total of 16, and I'll be back when I get that done. Okay, I have 16 loops made. I tied off because we're going to change colors, and I am going to be using the blue, the darker blue. And we're going to do a slip stitch on our hook. We're going to start with a standing double crochet anywhere on your circle, and that is yarn over, we're going to go in between the stitches, not in the top, and we are going to pull up a loop, pull through 2, and pull through 2. I'm going to do that again because there's something you guys need to know about a standing. If you need to just go in there and do a chain 3, you can. I prefer the standing. Always want to hold your tail down here so that it doesn't slip. You want to hold your finger on your slip knot, wrap it around from the back to the front, poke it through, keep it snug if you can, poke it through. Now whenever you go to pull this off, keep these 2 loops on your hook, you wrap it around, pull through 2, you push with your finger up towards the head, you slide them back, and you pull through 2, and you're sliding with this finger, making sure that this doesn't get too loose. Snug that down a little bit, and you'll have an exact double crochet on there. But we're going to keep 2 loops on our hook because we're doing a cluster. So we keep this one and this one on our hook. Keep your finger on it, and we will wrap it around, pull through 2, and leave it on there. Now you can let this go because it's not going to get any bigger. You can wrap this around and pull through 2. That's 3. We need to do a total of 5. Wrap it around, pull through 2. So you're going to have 5 on your hook, but you've got 4 stitches down here. Wrap it around and pull it through 2. It's for a total of 6 stitches on your hook. There's 3 and 3, that makes 6. Then you're going to wrap it around and pull through all 6 stitches, and that's a cluster. You're going to chain 1, and you're going to start working over your tail here, but we're going to go in between these 2 stitches first, and we're going to wrap it around, pull through, and then pull through 2, and you have 2 loops on your hook. Wrap it around, pull through 2, you got 3 loops on your hook. Wrap it around, pull through 2, there's 4 loops on your hook. Wrap it around, pull through 2, there's 5 loops on your hook. Wrap it around and pull through 2, that's 6 loops on our hook. And whenever you separate these out, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches down there. You wrap it around and you pull it through all 6, chain 1, and we're going to go into the next one in between these 2 stitches right here. In between those 2 stitches, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to wrap it around and pull through 2 until we get 6 loops on our hook. And the way I like to count that is I count by 5, since it's 3 and 2, that's 5. And then I'll do 3 and 3. So there's 3 and 3, and that's 6, and chain 1. And we're going to go back into the next one and do the same thing. And there's 5 loops. And this will be our 6th. You can slow me down if you need to. You can speed me up if you want to. There's 6 loops on my hook, so now we're going to pull it through. We're just creating these clusters all the way around. This is our flower petals, or part of them. There's 6, and so we're going to pull through, go into the next one. If you hear that noise, that's a plane flying over. I hear that all day long. I tune it out so I don't even hear it. And sometimes I'll think, oh, everybody else doesn't hear that all day long. I'm just so used to it. I have had one of those days of, do we need to start this over again? This is like the 10th time I have tried to do this video. I have had people knocking on my door. My husband left to go to town, and then 20 minutes later he shows back up, quietly knocks on my door, and scares me to death because I thought he was in town and he'd gone down to the neighbors to talk to them for a second, and then came back to get his phone, and scared me half to death because I thought I was by myself for a couple hours. And then people knocked on my door and heard some weird noises in the yard. It's just been a really strange morning. It's one of those mornings, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. It feels like I just need to go back to bed and wake back up again. So we're going to do this again. And I may speed this process up a little bit. because we're just repeating the same thing over and over again. Now, the one thing I am going to do, I don't remember if I said this or not because I've started this video over so many times, but I am going to create a blanket out of all these different granny squares that we are doing. So I'm going to do mainly the same colors all the time on these granny squares to create like a granny square sampler blanket. Because in the summertime, I do not like having a blanket on my lap or working on blankets because it's so hot here that I can't do it. And so I'll do like baby blankets and that kind of stuff. But I'm wanting to do Christmas presents. I've got a knot in my yarn. I have to cut that out. Be right back. Okay, so I was telling you I'm gonna create Christmas presents for family members, I guess, out of some of this that I've got planned. So I wanted to do it in the colors that they were wanting the stuff done in. Need to turn my ball of yarn around, I think. Yep. I wrapped it around my camera. Chain one, and this is our last one. It's okay that that cups up a little bit. It'll lay flat here in a little bit. Chain one, and then we are going to slip stitch into the top of this stitch, and we're going to chain, and we're switching colors again, so you can get this to lay flat if you work at it a little bit. I'm going to cut my yarn, pull it out, and we're going to go to the light blue. So I've got to go over there and get the light blue. I'll be right back. Okay, we are starting with a slip stitch on our hook. My camera's going to wiggle. Hang on. And we will be working over our tail, and we are going to start with a standing double crochet again, which is yarn it over. And we are going to be working in between, in these chain one spaces between the petals. And we're going to do the clusters again. So it's the same thing that we did with the previous round. One, two, three, four, five, six. Cluster. Pull through all six and chain one. Two. We're going to chain two there. And we're going to move over to this next one. And we're going to do the same thing. You kind of want to do these a little bit loose. If you do them too tight, you will get your square will get all wavy and weird on you. One, two, three, four, five. One more. 6. Pull through and pull through 2. Chain 2. Now I'm going to work over my yarn here, my tail from the previous round. And we're just doing the same cluster that we did before. There's 6. Chain 1, you chain 2 in between these. You got to increase. Chain 2. Did I chain 2 on this last one? Yeah. And we're going to do this all the way around again. You guys don't need to sit and watch me do that. So I'm going to pause the video and I will be back to show you what to do next. Okay, we have finished. I have chained 2, or I have finished. Chain 2, and then we're going to slip stitch into the top of this stitch right here. Actually, not the top of that one. I'm going to slip stitch into the top of this one. Snug that standing double crochet down. I swear to you, I'm having so much trouble. I can't get anything going today. I just need to go back to bed. Okay, then we're going to fasten off. And we're going to start with the white. And we are going to do a slip knot on our hook and start with another standing double crochet. And we're going to start and make our corner first. So what we're going to do is we are going to go in the middle in the chain 2 space. And we're going to make a standing double crochet. And this time we're going to actually do the actual standing double crochet. We're going to do 2 more. Then we're going to chain 2 and 2 more double crochets, or 3 more double crochets, sorry. And we're going to do the granny square clusters, which is 3 double crochets in each stitch. Every one of these gets 3 double crochets. Three double crochet here. Three double crochets here. I'm gonna pull out some yarn. This is tight. Skip this and go to the next chain space and do 3 more double crochets. We should have a total of 3 clusters of 3 double crochets, going across. So here's 1, 2, 3. So this one we're going to chain 2 and go back into that same space to create our corner and do 3 more double crochets. And then we're going to do 3 more double crochets in the next chain space 3 times. So we'll skip over to this one. Sorry, when my husband is gone, my dogs bark. I don't know why they bark, but they do. Okay, try this again. Three double crochet for a granny square cluster. So we have 3 on this side. So now it's time to do our corner. We're going to do 3 double crochets and a chain 2, and then 3 more double crochets to turn our corner. And skip over to the next space and do 3 more double crochets. Skip over and do another granny square cluster. And 1 more granny square cluster, and then we're going to do our corner in the next one. So in this one we're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets. And this is what we are looking like. We've got our 4th one, and so now we're just going to do 3 more clusters. Now on this one, you can make several different squares like this, and you can create a purse, you can do a blanket. A baby blanket's really cute out of this in different colors. You can even do a jacket out of these granny squares. You can do all kinds of stuff, a scarf, a hat, all kinds of stuff out of granny squares. So, okay, so like I was saying before, you can do all kinds of different stuff with granny squares. We're going to join this one into the top of this, not this stitch, but the top of this stitch, because that's our first stitch. And then we're going to cut our yarn. And that's our flower. I am going to do several of these probably and make a probably a blanket with this one. You can make pillows. You can do all kinds of stuff with this. Any color you want. You can do it however you want to. But that's what I've got going on. If you need to block them, you can block it. I'm not going to need to block mine because one more square will pull out. We'll make it, one more round will make it lay flat completely. I've got so much stuff down here on the bottom that it's not wanting to lay flat because of all the ends I haven't woven in. So you weave in your ends and then you can do one more round if you want to. And that is your floral granny square. Like, subscribe, share it with a friend, and y'all have a wonderful day.